The man in our next story took his vigilante efforts a step further, using his own 13-year-old daughter to catch a predator. So the 13-year-old claimed she was molested by an older man while she was walking her dog on a hiking trail. So what did the dad do? Decided to take matters into his own hands. He wasn't just any dad, though. He actually was a prosecutor. So what did he do? He had his daughter walk the same trail where she said the man had molested her and directed her to let him touch her if she encountered him, but to move away if he touched her breasts or between her legs. He recorded the interaction, handed the videos over to police, who did arrest the alleged 76-year-old molester. You talk about vigilante, like this guy's taking it to the next level.
But using his daughter as bait.
Yeah, that's
it's
frightening.
a different.
Yeah, that is frightening and really putting her potentially in harm's way. Doing that.
But on the other hand,
yes,
they caught the predator.
Yes.
And theoretically, this predator's still out there. How many other kids might this man have abused? And so I see both sides here. I kind of, if I'm the father, I'm not sure I call the police. I think once I find this man, I'm sorry, but there's a chance that I take justice into my own hands a little bit.
I know.
And I'm not saying, it's hard. It would be hard for me to watch my 13-year-old daughter being inappropriately touched by a 76-year-old man.
I know. I see both sides as well. I mean, on the one hand, she had already been molested by this particular gentleman. And the man is a prosecutor. He has the experience. He knows the system. And he believes that he needs to produce certain types of evidence to put this man away. But she's 13. So my one concern is, how good is a 13-year-old at really following those instructions that the dad gave about move away if he crosses a certain line, and don't yell out, don't be upset because I want to capture this on video. And so that, I think, is the part that is kind of concerning for a 13-year-old to implement that.
It's ridiculous to put a 13-year-old in that.
I agree. Well, where's the mindset
situation?
of the father and the concerns of the child's well-being?
I'm just saying, if I'm the father in this case, and again, I'm not defending his actions. It towed the line. But I can see where he's coming from, which is, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep at night knowing there's a dude lurking out in the woods.
Yes.
So I literally would not be able to ever allow my daughter to leave the house.
By the way, this did not
so
happen.
he went with
daughter in jeopardy like that.
By the way, this did not happen just one time. This happened 3 times with the same perpetrator. The daughter actually encountered this man 5 times on this trail, and he touched her inappropriately 3 out of those 5 times. And I think that's why the father was thinking, my daughter is being specifically targeted, and I want to make sure to catch him.
I think it's hard to judge a parent in a situation like that, because your only goal, I would imagine, is get this person
off the street
and get this person out of my woods.
Absolutely.
Where my daughter walks the dog.
So now he's created all kinds of crap, because not only does he use this youngster who's gonna, oh, by the way, when she's 30 years old, oh, what did you do when you were a kid? Oh, my daddy used me for a sting operation. They also created havoc within the government, because now that prosecutor's office who would prosecute this guy is now disqualified themselves because he works for them. He's being investigated as to his behavior, any ethical violations he could screw this whole thing up by his actions legally.
Because he
we don't know
jail,
that.
but he is already in jail. He's being held on bond. At least he's away for now. And I think what he did right is immediately turn over whatever evidence he had and let the system prevail after that. So,
and it is, look, there's no right or wrong here, but I don't think it's probably ever correct to use your child as bait. But I think the other thing to take away here is the one thing we're, I think, pretty good at and steadfast about is when we get reports of potential child abuse, we do take it seriously.
Yes.
In this case, we'll see what happens, but Judy and I are correct.
Yes.
I rule in favor of Judy and I being no.
I'm not the judge on my side.
It does, this segment though, it highlights something, which is how hard your job is as a judge, because it's not always cut and dry. It's not always easy, and your opinion might differ, but this judgment is respect for you.
When you come to court, I want to have evidence that's admissible. I want to be able to let that evidence stay in, and so many times I saw evidence have to be kicked out because it was gathered in an inappropriate way.
You know the beauty of the doctor's court? It's just pure opinions. There are no rules here other than this one.
thank goodness.